Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Joan. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you again, too. I'm really excited about us talking about the 13 moon calendar today.
Me too.
Yeah, it's
It,
gonna,
there's a lot of information there, and we won't have enough time to talk about it all, but I'm going to cram as much in as I can.
well, you might be able to flow it on through your fireside chats that are going to be starting in the foreseeable
Yes,
future.
yes, I will definitely. That'll be one of the definite subjects that will come up. So yeah, looking forward to those.
And I'll just say now for the audience that so if you follow Matthew on Facebook, Matthew Greenwood's Shamanic Journeys,
Spiritual journeys.
spiritual journeys, thank
Yep.
you. You'll be able to find out when these fireside chats are going to be live.
Yes,
And I believe they're free
they are. The
as well.
fireside chats are. Yeah, they started back in COVID. Went for about 18 months while all of that craziness was on, and to help support people through the process of all of that and taking some of the fears out of what was going on at the time. And I think it did a pretty good job. I feel like it did.
I'm sure it did. Yeah.
I still hear comments from people about them. So yeah.
And it's one a very generous offering. And so that's one of the good things about the internet, I guess, that we can still connect
Yes,
virtually if we can't get together physically.
very much. Yeah. And I suppose the broader we travel on our journey, the broader our clients are. And
Mm.
so I, no, in my time doing this work, I've traveled to America, Western Australia, Queensland, Victoria, and definitely New Zealand. So that's the current hotspot for me at the moment. But like to try and get back to these other places I've been to. So, but I have clients there, so I do a lot of Zoom sessions, which is good.
Mm.
I enjoy doing those.
Yeah,
I can
it's
do pretty
wonderful.
much everything I can face to face. I can do readings, I can do energy work.
Mm.
Obviously not hands-on, but
Mm.
um, once you know how to work with energy, it doesn't matter where people are. They can be on the other side of the planet, and it's amazing what can be done these days.
It truly is, isn't it? Like people
Mm.
have been really surprised because I've held Zoom circles in the past, how even through the meditations, people can really feel the connection and
Yes.
they thought that they would feel like, oh, I can't do it through Zoom, that won't be real, but they were pleased that what they did feel. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful, isn't it? That we can, and some people just can't, they don't drive or they can't get to somewhere. It just makes it accessible for them in this
Oh,
healing
definitely. They can
modality.
be on their phone anywhere. Zoom Zoom works on your phone, not just on a laptop. So
Mm.
um, yeah, look, I've taken one instance. Well, I've had this a few times where I'm working with someone and they're saying they've got a headache, and and I'll say, oh, all right, let's just give it a couple of minutes, and I'll do a little bit of work, and the headache goes,
Mm.
and it's just a matter of focus, intention, and not being limited by distance in your thoughts. Your mind is a
Mm.
great limiter to where you can go with this work. So when you don't have limitations, um, sky's the limit.
Anything's possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I'm so pleased that you're going to be further helping us expand our horizons by
Thank you.
talking about the 13 moon calendar today, which
Yes.
you and I have spoken about in the past. And I was revisiting some of it today. And so I was going to ask you, because it goes by dates, so that
Yes.
we can find ourselves within the present Gregorian calendar, but Matthew will explain why we want to move past that a bit. That we are in number 7, the resonant monkey moon, January 10th to February 6th. So Matthew, could you tell us a little bit about this moon?
Certainly. Well, Monkey Moon is, I've got information here, but there's other information I've got up here too. So Monkey Moon is a little bit of craziness can go on in that, you think about a monkey, they can be all over the place, they can be chitter chatter, and can be what can be going on in your mind at this time. There can be a little bit of internal, not majorly, but just internal conflict about you realizing who you are and stepping into that.
Mhm.
So the information I've got here says it's about, where are we? Thinking Moon is number 7. Yes, it's about feeling in tune with where your intentions are taking you, uh,
Mm.
being in tune with that. And when you are in tune with the original intentions that you would set at the beginning of a full, the 13 moon cycles, then you start to inspire others. And just naturally, without even having to try, because they're seeing you as you align with this moon cycle and the energy of this moon cycle, you're aligning with whatever those intentions were in the first place, your goals. And so when you are actually engaging with that, your energy just changes because you're naturally in this space of expansiveness, of feeling connected to the earth, because intention's a very powerful thing. A lot of people don't realize just how powerful intentions are.
Mhm.
When you set an intention, sometimes we forget that we have set an intention, and then sometime down the track, things happen that are exactly in line with the intention we set maybe 6 months ago.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
they can go, oh, why is this happening? And then they start looking back through their diaries or whatever was going on in that time, and whatever they set as a intention, as a goal, and bang, it's there, it's happening. And so it can surprise people, even though they have set intentions, that when you follow the breadcrumbs, I call it, when you follow the stream of energy that you step into once you've set an intention, and you just follow it, and trust everything that occurs along that path, amazing things happen.
Well, it's a bit like following the seasonal wheel, isn't it? About,
It is, yeah,
dreaming things up in winter, hibernating, and then sowing some seeds. And then as we go into spring, and how a plant grows is how our life can grow, and our seeds can grow into full bloom as well.
exactly, yeah, very much.
Mm.
Um, Probably to bring everything into a bit more alignment, I'll start from the beginning and work
Yes,
through, and we'll sort of go from there. So
sounds good.
this information stems from the Mayan culture,
Mhm.
and from the Mayan calendar, um, which is perfect for Australia. No, we're not from South America, but where this is all Southern Hemisphere information. So we're not running off information that's coming from the Northern Hemisphere, the Native American culture. And the Mayan culture was a very powerful culture. Um, so the first moon cycle, which is noted as the Bat Moon, not Batman, but Bat Moon, um, starts on July 26th and runs through to August 22nd. Now, what this moon is it's about attracting your goal or your purpose or the intention that you start off with. And now, there's something before I go any further with this one. There's something I'm going to throw in. So, in the Mayan culture, and this is not just the Mayan culture, but pretty much a lot of the Celtic, the Druid, a
Mm.
lot of the native cultures, um, on the day before that first moon cycle, they call this a day out of time, which is the 25th of July. Now, this apparently still in Brazil, um, they have this day as a holiday, because what this day represents is a day where no work was done, but you set the day aside to create intentions and create goals for these next 13 moon cycles. And so this was a very powerful day, and because it was a day of meditation, contemplation, and really, yeah, creating that purpose of
Mhm.
what you see for yourself. for the next 13 moon cycles.
So would you say it was intention setting as well?
Most definitely, yeah. Goal or intention setting, and then you really actively bring that in the first moon cycle, and so this is the energy that really starts the process of the 13 moon cycles. And there is a very defining energy over my time as a practitioner. Every now and then I kind of step in because I see patterns all the time when I've got clients, and I'm seeing this pattern arise maybe in those clients for that week. And I go, oh, okay, look, what moon cycle are we in? And it always astounds me. It shouldn't astound me, but it does, that it's very much in line with the energy of the moon cycle, because we're being hit with this energy, and it's always at a different frequency with each moon cycle. And this is what makes these moon cycles very powerful. So the second moon cycle is the lunar Scorpion moon cycle, and this runs from August 23rd to September 19th. Now, this is about the challenge of finding a new level of stabilization. Now, what this means, it sounds a lot, it's actually about facing your fears, because whenever, and this works with spiritual growth, whenever you choose to step up the spiritual ladder a rung, what happens is you're lifting yourself out of the frequency that you're in. And when you choose to step up into a higher frequency, or do whatever it takes to step up into a higher frequency by setting intentions or goals, then the natural next occurrence is you're going to have to face the fears of what's been stopping you from getting there in the first place. So let's say your emotional baggage is going to come to the surface in that second moon cycle. And the beauty of just understanding this information is you know what's coming. It's no surprise. So you almost have an expectation then when you have a look at, the dates and everything. Okay, so I'm going to be, this month, or moon cycle, I'm going to be facing my fears. So what can I do to alleviate that? What can I do to open that up and really clean it out? And so you might want to go along to clear some emotional baggage that may be bubbling around under the surface, which it normally is at that time. And so you're kind of getting in there early and you're clearing it out, and bang, you're ready for the next moon cycle, which is the electric deer moon cycle from September 20th to October 17th. So this one's relates to a deeper level of, because if you're on a spiritual path, generally at some point, people want to be helping others. And when you set an intention to help others, you naturally are bringing yourself into a movement, a flow of energy that relates to service, and service to spirit, service to humanity, service to the universe, depending how you view that or how you look at it or exactly what you're doing. So, and this is a very powerful one. And this really is kind of one of those underlying energies that really helps to propel us forward. Because when we know we're in active service, then we know we're in a bigger picture of life. We know we're stepping out of the small little picture and we're stepping into something much bigger. So, and really what you're stepping into is the consciousness of other people on a spiritual path that are wanting to be the same, wanting to do exactly the same thing. And that naturally helps to elevate your frequency too. So moon 4 is called the self-existing owl moon from October 18th to November 14th. And So the owl moon is about defining form and measure, which what that means is you're redefining who you are as a person with these steps you're taking and the energy that you're engaging with in each moon cycle. So this redefinition of who you are, when you think about maybe in those earlier moon cycles, particularly when you're attracting purpose, you may go and do a workshop. And that workshop might have information in there about better ways to communicate or better ways to live as a person, better ways to um, uh, be cleaner in your thoughts. And so in this moon 4, you're more conscious of the way you speak, more conscious of the way you act, the way you deal with people. Um, and this again is each one of these moon cycles is a higher and higher frequency, and it's just you stepping up with each moon cycle. So moon 5 is Peacock moon. That runs from November 15th through to December 12th. And this is all about feeling empowered, radiance, and feeling in command of your path. Now, the empowerment and radiance relates to, well, empowerment sort of, when you think about that, it's an emotional feeling, can be, or a mental feeling. But it's also, when the word that's there with radiance, that relates to not just how you're feeling, but your auric field, your actual energy field. When you're feeling great about yourself and you're engaging at a high level, your aura naturally, without even trying to, it naturally expands out. But not only does your aura expand out, so does your thoughts and your mind. It's not so much in tunnel vision mode, it's more in a much broader, open, sort of ready for anything type mode. It's stepping into that anyway. So what do we got next? We've got moon 6, which is rhythmic lizard moon. I get these little images in my head sometimes. I'm very visual, and I'm seeing this little lizard singing on top of a rock. I don't know where that came from. But,
with great rhythm.
Yeah, with a lot of rhythm. So that's from December 13th to January 9th. And so this one's all about feeling balance. Now, this balance is really about the balance of that you've been looking for. So this new level of balance is coming from you engaging with all of these moon cycles and the energy of those moon cycles. But really it stems back to the original intention of what you're looking for. And so in all of those moon cycles, in one way or another, you're redefining yourself, and you're changing a lot about who you are as a person. Sometimes it might be small things, sometimes it may be big things. But what this is doing is, once you're comfortable with where these moon cycles have taken you, you become in balance and you become very at ease and peaceful and calm. And this is a good place to be. And so this one is very much, it's about halfway through the moon cycles, and it's very much a good place to be, because you're starting to really feel the connection to what you're looking for. So moon 7 is
Which
the
is where we
monkey
are
moon.
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So moon 7 is feeling in tune. And one of the interesting things with moon 7 is you naturally, when you've got to that point, you must have done some work on yourself. You must have cleared some baggage whether you know about the moon cycles or not, if you're in line with your spiritual path, what tends to happen with this moon cycle is just by being you or being this new redefined you, you naturally inspire others who are coming up through the ranks, and even friends, you've been doing a lot of work on yourself possibly, and they just see how much calmer you are, how you seem to be more in balance, and how life just seems to be great for you. And they go, "What have you been doing? What's been going on?" And because we can. I mean, there are always times when we have that calm and peaceful state, but we can also, particularly in the energies that are going on at the moment, we can be sometimes, if we're not doing things to keep ourselves in balance, we can be a little bit all over the place because the energies can be a bit all over the place. But when we're holding that balance really well, because we're doing the work and because we're grounding our energy and because we're working on keeping our frequency high, then that stands out. You end up being like the rock, that's there that everyone can rely on, and this is you know um, because of when you I think when just from experience, and I'm not this is not coming from an ego sense because I know a lot of people, like at your level, my level, that other teachers out there that have been doing this for a long time, and um, we do our best to be the best person we can be, and we do. Sometimes we may not see it, but we do inspire other people at certain times, and I think that. Well, I think it's a great thing, but I certainly feel humbled by that too, that I can help people. And after being 30 odd years in doing this work, people still come back, and when they're ready to do more work, they come back, and it's great seeing how they shine through the work that I've been showing them, but also through the work that other people have been helping them with. And yeah, it's just beautiful to see that. All right, Moon 8 is the galactic hawk moon from February 7th to March 6th. And that's Moon 8. And this is an interesting one. So kind of along similar lines but it's just a step higher than Moon 7. I find this is a moon cycle where, as you're engaging more and more with really the universe and with the energy that we exist in, integrity is a big part of who we are and how we hold ourselves. And I guess this comes down to beliefs, understandings, also from helping people that have been hurt by others. And you want to be giving really clear information and supporting people through their journey. And integrity stands out, I think, when you find someone that's like that. They don't, if they're trying to prove it, then be careful. But they just generally have an energy about them that you can trust them, and because they've done the work. And again, so this is where you start to hold a deeper level of integrity, and it could be just down to something simple like what you've allowed to happen. Maybe you're redefining your boundaries as a person. You've allowed things to slip in to your life that you think, no, I don't want to be involved with that sort of thing anymore, or that person. And so you pull back from that. And the one thing I've found and discovered over the years is that sometimes you can have fears about loss, fear of say, losing a client or fear of losing a person in your life. But if they're
Mhm.
not good people, then sometimes you need to let them go.
Yeah.
But what I've always found is when you do let someone go like that, and because they're obviously showing, they would be obviously showing that they're on a different journey to you. So there's no point in trying to encapsulate them in your energy and control them and rescue them.
Yeah.
This doesn't work. It's a waste of time and energy, theirs and yours.
Mm.
And so what we're doing is we're allowing other energy, new energy to come in. And this proves itself over and over to me that when you do let go of something that's been heavy in your life, you always, within a very short space of time these days, you always connect with something much more positive or someone more positive, and
Mhm.
which is great. Um, this is how
And
the universe works, and
I can hear that what you're saying, that the energies of these different moons, without even looking at the list, is just has a natural progression. And if we
yes,
say tune into that energy,
yes, very
we're
much,
going to have the challenges we need to step up where we need to step up and to let go of what's in our way or it doesn't serve us anymore so that we can be of service to others.
exactly, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, very much.
Very
And
powerful.
it is very, yeah, very powerful myself. I was thinking the same thing, sorry.
Hmm.
All right, where are we now? We're in Moon 9, the
Mm.
Jaguar moon. So March 7th to April 3rd, and this is Moon 9. Um, so in Moon 9, this is where the intention that you began with becomes realized in your life.
Mm.
So whatever your focus was right at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
on that day out of time or within that first moon cycle, um, you're beginning to, or you're confidently seeing that happening in your life,
Mm-hmm.
to some degree, and so it's aligning very much with whatever your goal was. Then we've got Moon 10, and that's the planetary dog moon,
Mm-hmm.
April 4th to May 2nd, sorry, May 1st. And so this is about perfect manifestation. So I think we've all been through this where um, when we're in a real big time, everything's happening in our life, we just seem to be in this flow and we're
Mm-hmm.
attracting the right people, the right opportunities. And this is really what happens in this moon cycle. You have a tendency to attract great things. You think about something and lo and behold, it's basically presented to you in some
Mm-hmm.
way, shape, or form. Or you're thinking about a person that you really like to get in touch with, and they ring the next day, or they send a
Mm-hmm.
text message or something. And yeah, this sort of stuff is becoming more and more common
Mm.
as energies open up. The more in tune people that are um, really uh, growing out there spiritually, the more this sort of thing is going to happen, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. And this is leading to us not having to bother talking anymore. Probably, down the track, we'll just be um, talking through our thoughts, because I know there are times when I think about something and bang, it happens. So,
Mm.
or I can be thinking about someone and they feel the same energy, and this is, you got to think about this one, which comes first, the chicken or the egg, because sometimes we can go, okay, I've been thinking about this person, and then they ring. But could it be that they were thinking about you and you're feeling their thoughts?
Mm.
And so you start thinking about them,
Yeah.
so it can be either or both
Mm.
even. Could be an instantaneous bang connection energetically for whatever reason. Um,
Without the internet.
without the internet, yay!
Yay.
No,
Awesome.
no, yeah, and we don't have to worry about dropouts.
Exactly. Doing well today anyway.
Yes, we are. Um, so Moon 11. spectral serpent moon, May 2nd. That's my day, to May 29th. And this is a great time because you feel so much more at peace with who you are. Um, the the energy that you hold is an energy of confidence, of wisdom and experience, uh, through an understanding of all of the things that have probably come up for you through those first moon cycles. And you really feel that those fears that seem to be so big in your life, or negative things that were going on in such a big way in your life, are just nothing. They don't hold the same energy. They don't hold the same control on your life. And so these things just seem to dissolve away out of your life.
Okay.
And there's a feeling of liberation and release that comes with that. So that's a really beautiful time, and you really feel this evolving process going on in yourself.
I
Moon
find that
12,
interesting because it's
yeah,
also in late autumn, which can be a time of feeling of letting go. It's got
yes,
that downward energy as you're heading into winter. So that's fascinating that that's tying in with that about dissolving.
yeah, exactly. And when you start to, I'm going to talk a little bit. I won't give it a lot of time, but after I've finished, we've only got two more minutes to go after this. Um, I want to just bring in you the comparisons of the Native American medicine wheel and the cycles of that, and it has such strong connections to this as well. So, um, so moon,
Fascinating.
yeah, it is really. Moon 12 is the crystal rabbit moon. May 30th to June 26th. And this is, again, we're getting higher and higher in frequency with this, as you would be going through these moon cycles. So with this moon, there is a much stronger dedication and cooperation, or you could use a term instead of cooperation, and not fighting against the universe. And so this dedication to the universe then puts you in a space of galactic consciousness and connection to everything that's out there, um, and that you're not everything on this planet, but you're a part of everything that is, and this gives you a much more open view of life. It doesn't limit your perception of what you're capable of and what you could possibly create and manifest in your life. Um, and it's a really powerful moon, that one. Then moon 13 is cosmic turtle moon, June 27th to July 24th. And this one is the feeling of having endurance and a real presence about you and a transcendence. And this is really the cosmic consciousness and connection to source is very powerful in this one. And what I would mean by the word endurance in that aspect in this moon cycle is probably things like you seem to have more energy than you would normally have. You would have a much stronger connection uh, to spirit, to the universe, to source energy. You'd have a much you may not need the sleep that your body used to need. You may not need the same amount of food. You know, and you just don't run out of puff. Um, and you can do things that you used to be able to do when you're in your 20s. So it's again, when you are really plugged into that cosmic consciousness, there's a lot of energy running through us. And but of course, we have to have done the work to literally have that energy running through. Um, Otherwise, it wouldn't be. We'd be leaking that energy somewhere, or it just we wouldn't be able to hold that energy because it's at a high frequency. So with the just really quickly with the medicine wheel, I love the medicine wheel because it's a very simple way, slightly simpler than this, but I like the defining energies with the 13 moon cycles. Um, so with the medicine wheel, it always starts in the east. So this is like the rising sun coming in the east. And the spirit animal for the east is eagle, because eagle is all about visioning, or guess what? Setting intentions or goals. So hence moon one. And so this is a very powerful one because you know, you're flying high. You've got the vision of eagle with you when you're in that time. So you're very much up here, and you're looking for something that's going to work for you. Something might be a workshop, might be a new healer, it might be could be anything. You could be in the mode of wanting to create a new workshop, or step into a new job, something like that. So so the actual color of the medicine wheel in that quadrant is red. And what that relates to is coming back down to the earth, because the red represents earth. So at some point in that quadrant, you have to go from looking from eagle's eyes to getting your feet planted firmly on the earth. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Your goals aren't going to happen. So then you come down through to the south. So it always goes in the medicine wheel, and in most ceremonial rituals with the Native American culture, it always goes clockwise. And so you come down to the south, and the energy for the south is, there's two energies there. There's deer and wolf. Now, the deer represents heart. The wolf represents the head, or the structure and driving forward, moving forward. The Definitely the deer is about sensitivity and feeling, and like I said, the heart. So in this area, you're working at finding ways to bring the head and the heart to work together. So you're kind of stepping through those first, say, 2 to 3, maybe even into the fourth moon cycle with this one, because what this is about is starting to look at the actual things you need to do to achieve your goals. So they're not going to happen just by accident. They need you to drive that to actually occur. So it could be that, say you're looking to do a shamanism workshop, and you know, you've looked at the content of a lot of, there might be a few shamanism workshops around, and you think, I like that content. That content's fairly similar to this one, but that's not bad. But I think these two would be the best out of the bunch. But then you've got to look at which is the right teacher. And so the head is probably the one saying about content. The heart is feeling which is the right teacher. And this is where the two really work together well. And so from there, you need to then, you'd be on a growth spurt of discovering more about yourself, or wanting to discover more about yourself. So then you go into this next quadrant is black. So we go from red to black. And this quadrant is stepping up through to the west, which is the bear energy. And the bear energy, of course, is about going into the cave and going into that stillness, into the shadow, which can be very scary for people that haven't done this work before. And so there can be a little bit of fear that would be coming up. And this is pretty much like, well, definitely like Moon 2. challenge to restabilize once you've set a new intention. And this very much is what happens in this space. But the bear is there to keep you safe. That bear energy is there to protect you and to keep you safe. And I know you're very connected to bear energy, and so am I. And so this is a place I feel very comfortable with going. Sometimes it can be difficult because you don't know exactly what's there. So you just have to be open and not restrict yourself. So this is a place where you'd most likely be learning new things, new ways, and like I was saying before, new ways to live, new ways to communicate, new ways to deal with people if you're a teacher. And so then from that one, we go from the west, which is the energy of the bear, through into a quadrant that is colored white. And this quadrant is about going from the cave out into the light. And this is an area of integration. So in this space, you're literally integrating into your life all of the things that you've learnt in from south to west.
Okay.
And I find that with these two cycles, these two quadrants rather, from the south through to the north, they're a slower part of the whole cycle of the medicine wheel, because you're going inward in that first quadrant, the black quadrant from south to west. You're going inward. It's a very sacred time. Quite often this is in winter time, so people go inward. And this is a space where you do need stillness, and you don't want a lot of input around you other than support to someone to guide you through it, maybe. But then all of those things you've learned and workshops that you've experienced too, this is where you get to put them into your world. So you literally, when you come out from the west to the north, you're stepping into a space where you are redefining yourself in your actions, whether it be verbal, connections to people. You're not watching your P's and Q's, but you're redefining the best way to communicate with certain things. Maybe with things like conflict is a good one, because not too many sensitive people like conflict. And so this is always can be a challenge for empaths and sensitive people. And so this is a great one to really be in the learning you do from that. It creates a new foundation for you as a person. You become a stronger person, a very much clearer. You don't beat around the bush. It doesn't mean you hit people over the head with a mallet when you're communicating, but sometimes that can be maybe needed. But mostly it's really just about being able to give clear, honest, a growth communication. And so then from the north to the east, the north is the buffalo. Buffalo represents the abundance, because buffalo was everything to the people. They were the blankets. Nothing like sleeping under a beautiful buffalo skin with a winter coat on it. It's amazing. I've done it. And but also the teepees would have been made of that hide as well. And so this and the meat, of course, the bones were tools. And so all of this is why buffalo is looked upon as abundance. So from the north then to the east, you're literally riding this wave of energy that is just so empowering. And this is where that synchronicity happens, the manifestation, the feeling of being alive and where you're inspiring others. And, there's such a common thread between the 13 moon cycles and the medicine wheel. I love it. And we can define that medicine wheel even further. I actually do a day workshop on the medicine wheel, and it's a really great workshop because it gives you a much deeper understanding. And it's like with the 13 moon cycles, it's like this little almost a calendar of what's happening through the year, or through a period of time. Because if you're feeling like you're going inward, what that's showing you is you're somewhere in between the south and the west. So you think, what was I doing before that? Oh yeah, I was thinking about doing something new, and here I got stuck in my fears and anxieties, and I'm having to look at my emotions, and you go, oh, okay, I've got to work through that before I can achieve my goals. And so then you can see, well, what's coming when I've done this hard work, what comes next? And then you can see how this is all about integration. And then eventually this is going to take you on a beautiful wild ride of manifestation through north to east. And so it helps you to see where you're at. It helps you to not be lost. And these
Well, they're
cycles,
tools really, aren't they, Matthew? They're
very
tools to
much,
help yourself.
yeah,
And like, we help others, but also how do we help ourselves and keep ourselves in integrity so that we
exactly.
can be grounded and
Yes,
know where our compasses, our moral compass, our emotional compass, whatever
yeah,
compass,
exactly.
as we navigate ourselves through life. And I loved when I made a drum with you that we did the 13 moons. That's where I really first found out
Mm.
about it. And you had us write in each of the panels within the frame of the
Yes,
drum,
yeah,
the 13 moons. And so that not only is the drum, the medicine drum, a wonderful healing tool for ourselves and for others, but we also have that guidance right there with us
exactly. Yeah.
as well.
So I'll be doing a drum making workshop at the Farm for Wellbeing on the 18th of February, along with Lisa Drury, and she'll be doing both days because she'll be making a rattle with you guys, and
And a different kind of drum.
a different kind of drum, yes.
So much choice.
And I just happen to have one here. So
Yay.
this is one of my 13 sided drums. So I just happened to be very lucky, and the first half of my life was a furniture maker, and so I make these frames. You can see inside the timber frame in there, and
Beautiful.
but this is what you'd be writing on. So you'd be literally putting intentions into the panel on each of those 13 panels of each moon cycle. And I've had some amazing experiences. I had this one lady that did a workshop with me, a drum making workshop, and she actually painted on the outside of each panel. She went and did a lot of research into the Mayan culture, and she put a symbol for each moon cycle on each one of those panels. And she said that when she hit the drum in, say, that area, just near that panel, um, the drum had a slight difference in sound than the others, and each one had a different sound because as soon as you put an intention into
Yeah.
something, it holds an energy of that intention. So this is where you can take, how far can you take this work? It's but these drums are beautiful. They're deer skin. Particularly the ones I'm going to be um, bringing to this workshop. Nice thick deer skin too, which will be great. Nice deep sound will come from it, and really looking forward to hearing what the drums end up sounding like. So yeah, it'll be a fun time.
It will be a fun time. I can't wait. And this beautiful weather we've been having. So the people will be able to be on the land,
Yes.
inside with you for a while in the shed, doing that work, with your tools and things as well, and,
Yep.
your wonderful guidance, and, yeah, it's gonna be wonderful, and, people, because your workshop is on the Sunday, and as you said, Lisa's is the Saturday and the Sunday. If people want to come and stay the night before to be here for, I think it's a 9 o'clock start, then they can do that as well. They can roll a swag out or sleep in a tent or something. And so they have like a little mini retreat
Yeah.
as well, so
How good is that?
yeah, all possible.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I can't wait. It's gonna be wonderful. And
And for people that are coming, that it will be staying, they bring all their own food.
yeah, I'd tell them all that. Yeah, it's all
Yep.
on the website and the Facebook page.
Yep.
So under the Farm Being events, you'll see the Shamanic drum making workshop on February 17th and 18th, with these two wonderful presenters, craftspeople. And yeah, and if they have any questions, they can just reach out to me or to either one of you, because I know
Yeah.
you especially like to talk to people
Yeah.
before they come to your workshop. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I like people to know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
But
it's
also,
wonderful.
while we're talking, I'd just like to share that throughout the day, when we are making the drums, there is ceremony that takes place, and
Mhm.
which is a necessary part of this. And I take you through a time when it's quiet when we're working, and this is normally a time when we're working with the actual deer skin. And I get people to imagine, which imagination, I don't see imagination as a childhood game. I, your imagination is like a key that unlocks doors to all different realities. And so I get people to imagine what the life of that deer was that they're working with.
Mm.
And generally, it takes them into a forest. They're seeing other deer. They're getting the experience of what that deer feels, and so that deer lives on through
Mm.
the skin of the drum. And so the spirit of that deer will be there in the drum that you create, and of course your energy's there as well, and it's just the drum becomes an extension of what uh, we're capable of.
Sure.
So yeah, they're very powerful.
It's a real honoring of the animal as
Mm.
well. And I guess that's one of the beautiful parts of the tradition of the Lakota Sioux was, and not only them, but, all the
Yeah,
relations,
all of the
everything's
cultures.
connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, Matthew, I think we're going to have to wrap
Yes.
this up, but it's been
Yes.
another wonderful interview with
Thank you,
you
Joan.
and your sharing your wisdom with us. I really appreciate you and your time and doing this.
My pleasure, as always.
It's wonderful and it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Yeah, once you start me, I can't shut up. So
I know, I love it. But anyway, we will have more, or there'll be your fireside chats. So
yes,
thank you, Matthew Greenwood
my
from
pleasure.
um, Matthew Greenwood Spiritual
Very good for
Journeys.
you.
And you have a great website, by the way. Well done on that. I love it that it's
Thank you.
straightforward, simple, easy to navigate, and
Yeah.
all the information's there.
Yeah, love it too. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. All right, my dear, take care, and I look forward to
You
talking
too.
to you soon.
And see you guys.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.